Hey, 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 chickadees. Come on in for another episode of Mojo Mysticism. Today, we're going to talk about resistance. So come on in and join us. All right, chickadees, welcome in. Glad you're here. So today, we've been asked to pull a single card out of a deck called Oracle of the Sacred Horse. This is a beautiful deck, that they all are, that was created by Kathy Pike and the artwork by Lori Prindle. And today we're going to see what the horses have to say to us. So the spirit horses, the sacred horses. I love horses. So today we're going to pull from this deck. Let's see what the sacred horses have for us today. We just want a general message about where we're at and what's going on in the world and what might help us explore a way to better navigate our lives. So let's see what we got. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, so wow. Okay, this is great. So we have Fire Reza today. So Fire Reza is the horse of resistance, or not the horse, the card of resistance. This beautiful paint horse is kind of digging its one hoof, not paw. I was about to say paw because I'm surrounded by dogs. One hoof in, the other hoof up, as if it's going to be scratching, and its head is arched, its neck is arched, and it's very much in a position of resistance with its body language, but it's also very, very energetic. So I think that's really, really amazing, because here's the thing. What we're being asked to do is get curious about our resistance, use our higher consciousness, and really look at resistance for what it really is, and realign ourselves around our resistance. And the thing that we're really being challenged with is this notion that resistance is bad. Resistance isn't bad. When a horse resists something, if you've ever seen that happen, and it kind of arches, it does everything that this card is doing, and it's pawing, or not pawing, it's hoofing and scratching at the ground, it's not still, and it's not running the other direction. It's saying, I'm not ready. That's all it's saying. I need help to get me ready for what's next. And resistance, in my experience, has been the pathway through to what's next, to what's on the other side. And I have a history of it. We all do. Congratulations on your history of resistance. So I've evolved a little bit, I hope. Who knows? Melissa will tell me. Melissa, you text me and tell me if you think I've evolved, sweetheart. But here's the thing. Resistance, for me, resistance in the past was, oh, wait a minute, that's a brick wall. That means I have to stop in my tracks and go another direction. And that's not what resistance is. What resistance is the invitation. And it's the invitation to get curious about why that energy is stirring in our bodies and what information it has for us, especially about what's on the other side of that curiosity and that resistance. So resistance for me today is the invitation. It literally is the invitation. So when I feel my body kind of seize up a little bit, or I hear something and I get, it kind of hits you a little bit weird, and kind of shifts you a little bit, and you have a little bit of a reaction to it. Or if you're in a situation that doesn't feel good, and I'm not talking about dangerous situations here, that is a different topic. I'm talking about a situation that feels uncomfortable, but is not unsafe, right? It feels uncomfortable because it's hitting your button and you want to do that dance and dig your hooves in and dig your heels in, or tuck tail and run the other direction. That's what I'm talking about, not safety issues, right? We're talking about just resistance. And that resistance is absolutely the path to everything I ever wanted. I kid you not. So I had a coach that always used to say that everything you ever want is on the other side of fear. And resistance is the beginning of that journey. And that resistance, whether it comes in the form of a negative thought about something, judgmental usually, right? Or a feeling of like, no, not yet. That's the invitation, because I'm doing the dance, right? I'm doing the dance of resistance that says, I'm not ready yet. That's all it is. I get to get curious about what that resistance is, right? And we all do. And this is your invitation to get curious about resistance. Begin to understand it, befriend it, and let it show you what's on the other side of it. Because resistance is actually one of our best friends. It illumines the path and illuminates the path for us. So getting curious and being in a curious state about resistance opens the doorway to understanding it, and it opens the doorway to moving through that resistance to what's on the other side. So if we are willing to sit with things that are uncomfortable, this will be shown to us. I remember years and years and years ago, I've read a lot of Pema Chodron's books, and I find them just amazing, honestly. So they're just fabulous little gems of deep wisdom. And one of them that has stuck with me all these years is her book titled Comfortable with Uncertainty. And that is exactly what I think this card is getting at. Getting curious about that resistance, especially, because it's uncomfortable, so we don't like it. It's uncertain for sure, especially if we're going to walk through a doorway with curiosity and explore it. That gets tough sometimes, and we get the opportunity to be brave about it and boldly walk through that doorway. So some of the things that happen when we feel that resistance is I have felt like a push-pull energy. It's like, I want to go in that direction because I want to see what's on the other side of it. And then I get pulled back. So it's like, wait, it doesn't feel necessarily comfortable, right? I feel like I'm getting pushed outside my comfort zone a little bit more than I want to. And so you'll feel that kind of ironic and dichotomy of energy, and that push-pull energy. That often will indicate quite a bit of resistance. So one thing that Kathy does in this deck is she gives us prompting questions, which I want to share with you. So, and these questions are interesting. There are 5 of them, and some of them, one of them has like a follow-on question in it. So there's a total of 6, but I want to read them to you because I think they're poignant, and they'll kind of help you if you take time to really think about them. They'll help you understand kind of where resistance might be popping up in your life. So the first one that she poses is, what beliefs do you carry about a certain situation that is current? What beliefs do you carry? And are those beliefs true? I'm laughing at myself here, the thoughts running through my head, because oftentimes the beliefs that I hold about any current situation, and whatever, there's 100,000 of them. Oftentimes those are just not true at all if I look closely at them, which means that my resistance oftentimes isn't true. It's based on something that is just untrue, fundamentally non-existent. So I make stuff up. So, all right, the second question is, can you feel the resistance in your body, and where do you feel it? Sometimes I will feel it in the form of a dull headache. Sometimes I'll feel it in the form of a little bit of just a slight tightening of the chest. So know your body, know how your body manifests resistance and how it feels in your body. So the third one is, are you avoiding a positive change due to a past experience or an ingrained pattern? We can get stuck in some ruts sometimes, and those ruts can get deep, and they can make it really difficult to get out of. And so that's what this is asking us. That's what this question is asking us is, are we avoiding that? Are we avoiding a positive change, especially because we've been in a rut? Wow. Then the fourth one is, what new thought or perspective might shift your resistance? So this is where that idea of getting curious about it comes in. Maybe we take a whole different approach to it, and that can change our perspective and change how we navigate through it. And then the last one here is, where you have resistance, is there also opportunity? You want to know what my experience has been? 100% of the time, where there is resistance, there is also opportunity. So I think we're being asked to get really curious about where the opportunity is when we feel resistance, and then walk through that door of opportunity with a spirit of curiosity. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up for today. So I don't have anything else to say about that, because I'm going to go off and meditate on getting curious about my resistance. So chickadees, I'm really glad you joined us today. Hey, hit like and subscribe if you want to see more of these in your feed. Let me know how this resonates with you. And tomorrow I'm going to be in another location, and I'm going to have another special guest. So you don't want to miss tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Another dear friend of mine is going to join me tomorrow for Mojo Mysticism. So it'll be a lot of fun. So, all right, don't forget to subscribe. Love you, chickadees. Have a wonderful day. Mwah.